All right, I think we're live. Hope everybody's doing well. Once again, obviously some technical difficulties. Giving us a slight delay. No worries. We'll make it work. And I hope everybody's doing well. Today, what we're focusing on is a lot of good swing fixes, a lot of good things that can help us develop a good turn in our swing, get a little more power, a little more consistency, a little more better ball striking, contact, because that's obviously something that we can all do better on all the time. The more we work on it, the better we're gonna be. Just looking at my camera. My camera went down a couple seconds ago, so I'm just checking one of them. Make sure that it's good. We'll deal with the issues. We might lose one here. Sorry about that. Okay, so I got a swing the other day from a guy, and he was struggling with some issues, and so I was trying to. I'm sending him some stuff, or what we're gonna do right now is work on what he was struggling with. So I'll kind of reenact his swing. I don't have it to show you at the moment, but he has a great golf swing, and I gotta fix that real fast. Just hold on, just a couple seconds here. Just adjusting this thing here, just to give you a little. Oh, sorry. So there we go. We're gonna overheat because I gotta plug it in. Okay, nothing I can do about that. That's not gonna last forever. If I have to charge it up while we're going, it just overheats. Okay, so he has a great swing, but he does one little thing that gets him in a lot of trouble, even though, and so I see this with so many people, is that they have a great golf swing, but they think there's so much wrong with it, when really it's just one simple little tweak will change everything. So his swing looked very much like this. He has a short swing about to here, maybe even shorter, and it kind of looks like this. Okay, and he kind of is wild, loses a lot of stuff. So what happens is he gets a swing up here, and it's a short swing, and then to get power, he has to use his body, and he extends up like this. So and he's forcing it, so you lose your spine angle in that. You're coming up like this, and it's all in an effort to get more power, to get some distance. And I do this drill, I call it big turn, short swing. And I want your swing here, but I want your shoulder turn here. So it's a big shoulder turn. So we actually do this drill. We come here, we do the big shoulder turn, and I want your hands back down here. So I want the biggest turn possible here, but I want my hands down here, okay? So my back is to the target, and my hands are super low. Like my hands didn't even do anything. They just kind of set here. But so I turn and I just lower my hands. And now from this point, I'm just gonna swing about a 3/4 swing here. And what we're doing here is we're only working on getting a big shoulder turn. So this guy who sent me a swing, he needs to see, his swing is here with no shoulder turn. So if you have a full shoulder turn and your swing is this short, you've got a full swing all of a sudden. I didn't do anything but turn my shoulders. And now my swing is in a great position. I don't have to swing any farther. You can be here. You can have even a shorter swing. Like that's no shoulder turn swing. I'm just using my arms here. But then you add your shoulder turn, and all of a sudden you're in a great position. What he's doing is he swings here, and then he's got to really force his legs, which on one hand is good because you're using your lower body, but it's just you have nowhere to go but up. Whereas if you turn that shoulders and now you use your body, you have this rotation that you have to use all of a sudden to get power and time to generate speed. So we want to add more shoulder turn, especially in practice. All right, when you're just practicing, we want to get the biggest shoulder turn possible. Okay, right now. Do you take your backswing more with your, okay. Okay, I'm going to get to your questions too. So what I like to do, you can use a club, you can use your alignment stick. It's just set up, this is square. And your backswing, I want this stick or the club to point way back here, okay? Way back there. So if you just put it right here, it matches your alignment stick, shoulder turn, boom. I'm not drifting backwards. I just want a shoulder turn here. The farther you can get that, the better. Now, a lot of questions people have is, do I go down? Do I keep it level? Right, if I'm here and I just keep it level and I shoulder turn, I'm a little too, right? I want to keep my spine angle, this is my spine angle here. I want that to stay consistent through the swing, right? So I'm swinging, if I was standing straight up, it would be level and then just bend down a little bit, and that's where you need to be, okay? And you want to get this pointed way back here. So I always say left shoulder, right knee. You want to get that left shoulder over that right knee. And the drill I like to do is, you know, big turn, short swing. So I do big turn here, get my shoulder way over there, and then lower my hands, okay? And this is gonna, if you could get here on your downswing, like this is the sweet spot as you strike the ball. So now you're also working on getting that shaft in front of the handle of the club, or getting the handle in front of the club face, shaft lean. If you come down into this position, most people try to get to this position, but trying to get here, in my opinion, you want to get somewhere before there, and you want to get back here. So it's this big turn, lower those hands here, okay? So I have my full turn, and my hands are way low. You would never be here, but this is where you want to feel right now, and then just do this little drill, and you're starting to train your muscles and your brain to try to get into that position on your normal swing. So you get that big turn and you come way down like that. And it's part of its flexibility. You know, the more flexible you are, the easier this is going to be. But the drill would be, you know, big turn, little swing, right? Short swing, big turn, short swing. And you're training your shoulders and your muscles to get a big turn. And so the swing I got, I'd show it to you, but in my little program here, I'm running the thing, it comes in upside down and sideways, and I don't know how to rotate it. So I don't know why it came in upside down. It looked good on the thing. Whatever, long story. We'll get there. Just swing through the ball. Yeah, okay. So right-handed golfer, do you take your backswing more with your left hand or your right hand? Okay. So this also is something that a lot of people struggle with. This is what I see a lot of. And it's as you take the club back, really this is the key. This is the key in golf. If you can get this takeaway, good. And I talk about taking your hands out of the swing so much, okay? If you take it away with your left hand and you're opening the face as you go back, what's gonna happen is you're gonna have a tendency to push that hand away from your body like this. And that is gonna create a lot of problems. So that's why I say, don't focus on the left hand, because you're gonna probably rotate it open. Okay, so we don't want that. Now, some people are like, what about the right hand? Again, if you're focusing on the right hand, I don't hate that As long as you're not rotating that club open, I would say when I focus on the right hand, I'm keeping that face shut is my focus. And then up here, it's that carry the tray move that people talk about. So if I focus on right hand, I'm focused on keeping that club face more shut. And actually, the swing looks more like this, which there's nothing wrong with that. You can work with that, right? That's a Calvin Peete move. You see a lot of top players just doing that, and it's not a bad way to go. We'll talk more about that in some videos coming up, just that style of swing and what it does for you. So to answer that question, what do I focus on? I focus on both hands together. Okay, when I focus on both hands at the same time, then they work together, right? And if anything, I'm pushing my hands together so that they're both, you're just pushing them in on the club. And that kind of forces everything to get a little more connected, right? And then one's not working this way, one's not working that way. They're both working together here. And it connects it to what I perceive as that one piece takeaway. So I'm focused on both hands at the same time. So that's my swing thought when I think about my hands. Because sometimes I'll think about hands, sometimes I'll think about shoulders, sometimes I think about hips and feet. It's usually one thing that I'm thinking about. And but if it's hands, I never think about them independently. It's always together. So both hands working together, and then we go from there. That's how I do it. Let's see. How do you stop pulling putts left? Okay, that's a good question. You've got to really look at, we'll do a live show one day from the putting range, or I'll do a video on this, but it's really where you're aiming. It has to do with how you pull putts, and it's your feet, it's your shoulders, and it's that club face. And then you've got to look at your takeaway. If you're coming outside, you're going to probably come over the top of your putts. And people don't talk about that a lot, but a lot of people come over the top of your putts. And when you do that, you never slice a putt, right? Because a putt is just rolling. I mean, you'll just miss it left. So that's usually the case. You're coming over the top, and you've got to come back and up with your putter, and not inside over the top or outside and over the top. So look at that. Just take some video of your backswing of your putts and work on that. And then check out my putting series. I have a number of putting drills that you can work on that will really help you kind of hopefully work those issues out. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Any thoughts? Okay, Trenton. Okay, we'll get to this. I'm struggling with a bad hook with my driver. And yeah, dude, join the club, man. I struggled with the hook for a long time. A long time. I mean, it's very, very frustrating. And for me, and this is why I preach this so hard, is it was my hands. I was a rotator of the club, and then you rotate back and you unrotate going through. For me, as soon as I took my hands out of the golf swing and tried to do more, like Bryson DeChambeau is the ultra extreme level of taking your hands out of the swing. So I don't necessarily go that far, although when I do, I'll be honest, like I have pretty good results. So I'm not against that. But I would, again, set up, make sure you're taking that club as straight back as possible, straight back and up here, and don't rotate that club at all. I mean, video yourself, do what you gotta do, but really feel like that club, that toe is turning down on your backswing. It's, if your face is shut, a lot of times you'll play a fade. You look at Dustin Johnson, he plays a fade. So you can play a fade with the shut face, all right? Just got to rotate the body, but feel like that club is face down, toe down, if anything. And just try not to have any forearm or wrist rotation on your backswing at all. Hover that club a little bit and then just feel like there's nothing there. And go from there. You might miss way right at first, but slowly but surely you figure that out. What I love is that when I try to play a draw, I don't add face rotation. I just try to come a little more from the inside. What I love about that is when I try to play a draw with my driver these days, if I miss right. So a lot of times if there's trouble left, I'll aim down the right side of the fairway and try to draw it. Like if there's a big lake and I'll try to draw it because I know that if I hit a draw, it's going to be a little perfect draw. But if I miss trying to play a draw, I usually miss it right. So sometimes if I try to play a fade, I'll just hit it straight, so it'd go a little left. And so if there's trouble left, I don't necessarily do that. I'll just aim right, and all I do is I set up square, I take it back, all good, and I just try to come slightly from the inside. So the draw is produced by my swing path, slightly into out. So it's actually a little push draw, if I can do it. That would be the perfect scenario for me, but no hands at all. I'm feeling like I'm not even trying to wrist cock. Like that is out of the question. That's out of bounds for me. And anybody who goes left, I would say give that a try. No wrist cock, no wrist rotation, no forearm rotation. Just try to keep it as square as possible. You'll lose a little distance at first, but once you get the body motion down, after a while, it'll come back. Okay, any thoughts or ideas to swing through the ball instead of at the ball? Okay, yeah, for sure. So a lot of people deal with this, they're just trying to hit the ball, right? You're trying to hit the ball and not through the ball. So Johnny Miller talks about this a lot. He mentioned that he was like the only guy, I think, when he played, that his swing speed was faster after he hit the ball. Like over here, his swing speed was faster than down through here. So with that in mind, what we're gonna do for this little drill is you're gonna swing slow and you're gonna speed up, and you're gonna try to, it's like that whoosh, right? You hear the whoosh when you swing your club backwards. I want the whoosh way over here in your forward swing. So take a swing and whoosh up here, right? That's where you want it. You're taking a swing. So your release point is way up here. And then that's how I want you to attack the ball. Is think about that, the whoosh way in front of your ball, okay? So it's gonna be a slower swing and you're really accelerating up in here. Because when you accelerate right through here, then you're hitting at the ball. And if you release a little early, you're behind the ball. But I want you to release late, way late. And you'll never decelerate on that ball. You'll always have acceleration if you are trying to make the speed of your swing happen up here. And it's a great drill. You might hit a few thin, but you'll get the hang of it and it'll work out. That's what I use when I feel like I'm just trying to hit the ball. Okay, any tips to keep the weight of your over the middle of your feet versus the toes? Yeah. This is what I do all the time. I don't know if you could, maybe you can, I'd have to move my mat to show you. But, okay, so get this. If you got a noodle, you could do this on the end of your mat. All right, like by standing here. I would do this a lot at the range, but this noodle, it'll represent the exact same thing, okay? So some people get too far on your toes. Again, if you're too far on your toes, you're probably bent over too much. So you want to stand up, you want to tuck your butt in, okay? Start there before you do anything. Really, like, this is your new stance. Get this butt in, okay? And I want your shoulders, your armpits over the balls of your feet. out here, if you're bent over too much, your weight's on your toes. And then, you know, you've got too much going on here. You want to stand straight up, man. Stand up. Bend down a little bit here. So that's where you want to start. If you're having trouble feeling that, get your noodle or stand on the back of your mat and just put your balls of your feet on it. Now, I don't want you to lean back, but this will help you kind of get that feeling of just saying, and then you can really feel, okay, I'm on the balls of my feet now. There we go. There you go. And always do your best to try to finish on your toe. Some people do this, you know, and they just get, don't do this, okay? Like, get off here. It's gonna be hard, but fight to get off, and on your weight rotated. But this is a good way to go. If you're really struggling with it, I would just go here. Same thing, or the end of your mat, something like that. This is a great way to just really focus on where your body weight is, where you're centered over the ball. But yeah, this will really help. And just squish down on the ball. You're never gonna be on your toes here. It's gonna be here. And there you go. That'll help. That will help you. That's a great drill. My kids did that. I've done it for years. Hi, Bernardo. Hope all is well. How do you fix too much lag? Okay. Too much lag. So this happens. I'm going to make an assumption here, so forgive me if I'm wrong. Usually this happens when you are creating lag on the downswing, right? Instead of, you could set here on the backswing, so, but usually you get too much lag when you're here on the downswing and you come too far forward, all right? So again, it's all in your hands and wrists, right? So you're letting that set here, which we want to help that. So here's a great drill that will help you. I want you to keep your arms as straight as possible throughout the swing. Like that's your swing, right? At least that's what I want you to feel. You'll probably come nowhere near that, but you know, people I've seen just really come in like this, you know, they're getting a lot of spin, so I want no elbow bending in your swing. And I want you to work on that. And then I want you to video yourself doing that with 0 arm bend throughout your backswing. And I'm guessing that when you video yourself and you see it, you're gonna be shocked because you're still gonna have some arm bend. And you're gonna say, wow, it feels like there's nothing. But I want you nothing, and then come down, okay? So keep that right elbow straight. That's really the focus, right elbow straight. And again, it's a drill. It's to help you start learning the feel of that down cock, which I'm assuming is too huge right now. Thanks, Larry. Glad you're here. How do you speed? Okay. Okay, John, how do you develop speed when needed? Where does it come from? Does it come from okay, so typically I do this drill where I'm working on rhythm, I'm working on my swing, I'm feeling it, and then every day a little bit when I'm practicing, well, I try to make sure all my swings are 85, 90%, but I want to know what 100% is. What is 100%? So every day when I'm hitting, it's at the range or whatever, here's my normal 6 iron, okay? This is my swing. This is my stock 6 iron right here, okay? That's where I feel comfortable. If I'm on the golf course, that's my swing. Now I want 100%. This is my extra swing, okay? This is my extra swing. And I feel it more in my shoulders, like I'm right here, and I'm my shoulders and my chest are just turning through. I'm not really cranking too much more hips. For me, I feel it in my shoulders. Like right in here is where I'm accelerating around. You know, I'm not necessarily, when I start really trying to crank my hips too hard, it messes up my timing for me. So I try to feel it in my shoulders, where I'm just giving it a little extra, right in there. And again, I'm trying to make the speed of my swing happen after the ball. And it's shoulders, chest is what I'm feeling. Okay. All right, Brian, here's a good one. What would be a good swing thought to keep your fairway woods shallow? Yeah. So here's what I do. Great question. So there's some days where, man, I could hit this 3-wood. I could do anything I want with it. And then there's other times where I'm not hitting it very good, and I cannot shallow that thing out. And it's so frustrating. And what I do is, I don't hit it those days. Honestly, I'll hit my hybrid because it's going to be a lot safer, and I don't want a giant miss. So think about that. Don't force it. Never force it, right? But what I think about here, when I'm here, I'm thinking this. Like, I want this right hand to lay back underneath. So my practice swing is like that. I'm really taking it here, and then I'm feeling this. I mean, that's a huge drop down, and it will never look like that in the real swing. But that's my practice swing and my swing thought. And then when I'm doing a full swing, I'm trying to do that at full speed, which it might do it like an inch or less, right? Oh. Maybe it went a little more that time. I totally topped it. But that's my swing thought out on the course, is really get that. There you go. Is get that down and through. And, you know, for me, it all starts at the range before I play in my warm-up. I'll hit a few of these. If I got it and I'm flushing it, I'm set. I know it's gonna, I got it today. If I don't, then I'm really not gonna hit this very much, because it's not worth it. When am I gonna use this? You know, off some par 4s, off the tee maybe, or, but I don't have to. If you're hitting a 3-wood, you can hit a hybrid, you can hit a long iron. I might just hit my driver and gamble on that side of it. Fixing. Okay. What's your approach in fixing a slice with the driver? A drill to hit the driver straight. All right. All right. Great question. A lot of people are slicing the ball with their driver. I get it. There's a lot I talk about in terms of taking your hands out of the swing. You know, people come over the top, but why do you come over the top? We talked about that earlier. It could just be more of a shoulder turn issue. I typically, but where I start is, which fixes a lot of problems, is hitting up on the driver. You've got to hit slightly on the upswing. So, you know, you've seen, I don't know, maybe you have, but I have a video where I take an iron and I throw a ball in the air, just like you're hitting a baseball bat, right? You just throw it, and you swing up on it, right? You're trying to hit that ball right as it hits the ground. I'm trying to hit this, okay? You're never gonna hit down on that ball. The ball's going down, so you're gonna hit up on it. And that's the same motion, the same feeling I want you to have on your driver. Okay, especially if you're slicing it. So set up, normal, and now just pretend you throw the ball in the air and it's coming down, and you're hitting up on it. And you're gonna hit up on it, and you're gonna start, when you hit up, okay, it's impossible to hit up on the ball and come over the top at the same time. It's just physically impossible. Like, you can't come up. I mean, you would have to be in Cirque du Soleil. They would book you for America's Got Talent. Simon Cowell would give you the golden buzzer if you could hit up on the ball and come over the top at the same time, right? People, you would be world famous. You'd be like a talking dog. That's how many people would want to, it just doesn't happen. Okay. Daniel, we got any tips on slowing the hips down? Man, you guys got great questions today. Yes. Tips on slowing the hands down. Me and my buddies did this before, and it's brutal. Okay, get your alignment stick. Stick it in your belt buckles. You've seen it, some instructors go this side, right? And you're trying to get that around. Great, we're gonna go the other way. Do this at your own risk, okay? This is out here. So, you can take it back, and if your hips are here, well, look what's gonna happen. You're gonna hit it. So you don't want that. You want here, and you want those hips to move, but you don't want them here, because your club will hit that stick, okay? Hopefully you don't kill yourself, but if you do, you did it for a good cause, your love of golf. All right, so you're gonna take it back, and it's a full swing, but man, you gotta slow those hips down, because you'll feel it, right? So there you go. Oh, I peered that. So that's how you slow your hips down. You'll have instant feedback. If you're here, like, you'll hit the stick, right? You don't want that. See? And I actually tried to hit the ball, and the stick knocked me away. So it forces you to slow it down. It's great if you feel like you're too hippie. That's a really great drill. It'll get you synced up quick. You're welcome. I hope that helps. We're working on swing fixes today, Eclipse, and really we did a lot of shoulder turn stuff early. I don't know. Brian needs help where to trade in clubs. I guess it depends on where you are. There's some good websites. There's one, I forgot the name of it. They have used golf equipment. If you guys know, help Brian out. Okay. Yeah, okay, Eclipse, you having a problem with your driver. You hit the ball too high, losing distance. Okay, driver too high driver. So I would, first and foremost, you gotta look at your ball position, okay? A lot of people put it off there inside their left foot, or they think they do. But look, if my stance is wide and I'm at the inside of my left foot, like, that's way too far forward. It's just way too far. You want it off your left ear. So you're like, oh, okay, that's my left ear. Now, it doesn't matter where your feet are. You want it off your left ear. Because it's based on your body, not your feet, okay? So first and foremost, check your body position. 2, check your hand position. Are your hands way behind the ball or too far in front of the ball? So that's second. So good setup. Just keep your hands like right in your belt, a little spine tilt, boom, you're good to go, okay? Check that. Take a photo, put your phone over here, little timer, take photos of yourself so you can see exactly what you look like. Get a pro that has a similar build to you, okay? That like I would never put myself up against Bubba Watson or Tiger Woods even, because they're a lot bigger than me, they're taller than me. But Xander Schauffele, that would be a good build for me to look at, okay? Because we're about the same size. Rory McIlroy, I'm closer to his size than anything. So I could compare my setup to his. That's what you want to look at, all right? So make sure your setup, take photos, try to copy a good solid setup. I'm not saying copy swing, I'm saying copy setup, because you know, once you have a good setup, then you can really start crafting your own personal swing. But look at that. And then look, if you're hitting down on the ball, you're gonna hit really high up on the club face, and the ball is gonna go like, you know, a sky ball out there. So you don't want that. So make sure you're hitting up on the ball. A lot of people think because I'm hitting it high, I must be hitting up on it. No, you're hitting down on it, popping it up too high. If you hit up on it, you can actually catch it at the bottom of the club face and hit it super low. So don't be afraid of that, all right? Try to hit up on it. Actually, here's a great drill that I think will really help a lot of us. And 5'5", okay, so you're closer to my height. Copy my swing. You can copy all day long. So get a shorter guy. Xander Schauffele would be perfect. Here's a drill that will help you with that. I want you to try to hit your driver thin. So you're gonna try to hit it down here on the bottom of the club face. So it's teed up. Just hover that. I'm gonna try to really thin this drive, okay? That's something you wanna do. You know, this is kind of a more advanced drill, but it was something I would work on a lot where, okay, I hit it thin. I was a little too thick for me, so I want even thinner than that. And literally, I mean, we're talking millimeter differences in my ball contact, but I want to purposely do it. I want to purposely make that even thinner. Can I? I did, just a little bit. And then now, okay, let me see, can I go really high on the club face? Like almost a drop kick style swing. Yeah, and you could tell the difference. I hit that pretty high up here. You can even see that ball mark is right up top of the club face. Actually, part of the ball, like that's where I struck this one. Half the ball was above the club face. You can see it. And I'll mess around with like, okay, can I hit it on the toe? I'm setting up perfect. I'm gonna toe this. Where is that? Good, yeah, that was pretty good. That was just slightly more toe than heel. And mess around. See if you can do that on your driver club face. What it does is it gets you out of your swing. You just start, where can I make contact on the club face? Everything I do is designed to get you out of analyzing your swing and like, oh, what is this and this and this and this. The drills are really helpful so you learn how to swing your own swing. Uh-oh. Did that die? Sorry about that. It'll come back. It's my phone. Somebody called me. They're out. We should be back here in a sec. So that's the thing. Do the drills where you can get really focused your attention on ball contact. That'll help. So mess around with that. Let me know how that goes. Let me get to some more questions here. Too steep, yeah, for sure. What I see? Okay. I hit a ball at the center of the face most of the time. I tend to be good at ball. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Who should I see? Okay. Oh, okay. You want to know who you should, you're 5'5"? Yeah, I mean, Xander Schauffele's good. I don't know how old you are. So, you know, if there's a, let's say you're older, for example, and you're looking at the champion tour guys, Paul Lawrie, is that his name? Not Paul Lawrie. Yeah, not Paul Lawrie. Ryder Cup captain from a few years ago. Paul McGinley. I think that's who it was. Forgot the guy's name. He's short a guy. He's like 5'5", 5'6". So I would check on him if you're older. If you're younger, I would go Xander Schauffele. Andrew Landry. He's a younger guy. He's not very big. Look at his swing. These, you know. So I would look at them for position, and that will really help you. Why might one hit a hook with a hybrid? And it's like, yeah, okay. Great question. Man, that used to drive me nuts. I would have a hybrid. Like everything I'd be hit perfect, everything, except this. So it would drive me nuts because for some reason this small little shaped head, it could just really turn over. Really turn over you. Just for some reason, and they design these clubs like that. So they're easy to turn over because most people slice it. So again, I just go no hands going back, and I take a shorter backswing here, okay? And I'm just really trying to have no face rotation at all with my hybrid. And usually that helps a lot. And be careful out there. Most swing aids, a lot of swing aids are designed to give you a wrist hinge or lag. You know, there's things you clip on. I got one of them, and you clip it on, and it creates that lag. Well, that also creates more face rotation as you go. So you might want to not use these things if you're struggling with hooks and face rotation. Okay, but I always make sure I'm set up. My feet are never closed. This is a bad habit of mine. My feet aim to the right, and then my swing plane, my swing path is going to the right, and I could hit that square, but if my swing is in to out 5 degrees, 6 degrees, whatever, I'm hitting a big hook because it's going to start just a touch right and draw a ton. So really make sure I'm open, if anything, with these, and my ball position is not too far back. Remember, your clubs should be coming from the inside, so if you're hitting it back here and you're coming too far into out at that point, and you start manipulating that face, you're going to hook it off the planet. So make sure that ball position's just left eye. It's kind of like what I like with this, and I'm just a slight push out, but don't rotate. Okay, I just want to push out without rotating it. Okay, I'm just out here and no rotation. That's my swing thought. Perfect. I love it. What else we got? More questions? Did I skip any? I might have. Yeah, okay. Tips on stopping the inside takeaway. Yeah. All right. This noodle works great. I use a towel usually all the time, but I've got the noodle here, so we'll use that. I was given a lesson yesterday, and this is what we worked on. Guy had too far inside takeaway. So this is good because it's, you know, a couple inches off the ground. I'll just throw it out, make it a little out to in. Right there. So this will help you. Now, I mean, if I come inside, I'll probably hit that. So it just gives me a good visual. I want to take it out here, and then you're good to go. I usually swing from the inside, so I might hit it on my way down, but well, that felt good. Yeah. Just work on that. If this, you know, the better you get at it, then you could remove that and just use this. Because what I like to do is focus on this takeaway, but come from the inside a little bit on my downswing. That, for me, really helps. And that feels good, because I want to be able to work that ball right to left, left to right, without using my hands. You're just gonna be a lot more consistent going that route. Unless you're playing every day, like a lot of the pros are real handsy. But again, they're pros. They're practicing hours and hours and hours every day. They're playing every single week. You know, like 4 tournament rounds a week, plus a couple practice. I mean, they've got a ton of golf going on. So day to day, when they're off, it's going to be subtle. And that's the difference between making the cut and missing the cut. For us, if we're real handsy players, the difference between an on and an off day is, 82 and 102. It's not good. So I like to work my swing, my ball direction, and my ball shape based on my swing path, not what my hands are doing. So if I want to cut it, I'm just coming a little more across the ball. And if I want to draw it, I'm just out here all the while keeping my hands very, very quiet in my golf swing. And then a lot less is going to go wrong than not going to go wrong. Hopefully that made some sense and is helpful on some level. But time and time again, I see just a lack of shoulder rotation. And that's kind of really the theme of today, is how do we get our shoulders to rotate, right? How do I swing? Now, if you're older and you have some limitations physically, yeah, then you're gonna wanna just be more handsy, like forget everything I just said, right? And do it differently. You're gonna wanna be a lot more narrow, a lot more armsy, and a lot more handsy. But again, then you're not going for distance and power, right? It's gonna be a whole different game you're playing. And that's, you know, that's okay. It's like checkers and chess. You both use the same board, totally different game. So if you've got physical limitations that you just can't move your back or whatever, then you got to kind of retool your approach to golf, and you got to really play a different game, which is great. And I see, man, there's guys out there that take me to the cleaners who are a lot older than me, hit it a lot shorter, but just have mastered the art of, you know, their little deal. And they got phenomenal short game, which has always been the key to low scores. We got any more? What ball should I use? If I slice, should it be a low spin? Okay. Well, that's all personal preference. My ball, I primarily choose my ball based on feel around the green, chipping and putting. I like a ball that, like a soft cover, but sometimes some balls are too soft for me around the greens, and some are too firm. So that's personal preference. If you slice it, it's not because of the ball, really. It's because of your swing and what you're doing there, and you can correct that. So I would always go with what performed best around the green, chipping and putting, and even sound. What sound do you prefer when you hit that putter or that chip? And then go with that ball. If it's a higher spinning ball, that's fine. Then we could do some stuff to fix your swing and straighten it out. Okay, Tom, any tips? I love this. This is great. Any tips on coming back from a long time off? Yes, I've done this. There's been times where I didn't play. I had hurt my shoulder, and I really couldn't swing. And sadly, it happened after I took some lessons, and we started doing some different things, and it just wrenched my shoulder. And so I said, okay, I'm not gonna play again until it's better, and it was a year. So I didn't even play. It was weird. Okay, so a long time off. Here's what I do. I mean, this is my shot right there. That's your swing for the next, month. Just this. Whatever club you got, all your clubs, chipping, pitching. This is a 6-iron. Even when you play, this is it. Just work it back. Right here. Become a master at that shot. So your friends are like, and this guy hits this little punch shot, like better than anybody on the PGA Tour. Like, let that be the case. Because you can have that shot down perfectly. You could be a tour player. Well, you can't be a tour player. I mean, you could, but let this be as good as any tour player. You can get there. Anybody can. Here. You can do that as good as any guy or girl on any tour in the world. All right? You might not hit it 300, 350, whatever. But you can do this as good as any of them with any club in your bag, right here. And then go to shorter courses, some par 3s, and really dial in that 100-yard game using that shot. And then you'll see you'll be better than you ever have been in your life. Okay, can too much rotation be a problem? All right. Let's talk about it. Well, yeah. I mean, if you really nail me down, yes. But For, I mean, 99% of people, no. Like, no. Just let's say no. Look, and I mean, too much, you can all, yeah, too much anything is a problem, right? Too much air is going to be a problem. So, yeah, I mean, too much rotation. But I haven't yet to see somebody too much rotation. I mean, if you come out of the shot, that's a problem. Don't attribute it to rotation, because you've all seen these photos of Tiger Woods, right? Way out here, right? I mean, his hips are pointed left to left, and he hits his perfect little shot, right? Because he's still synced up. He's just incredibly flexible at the time. You've always seen these photos of like Hogan and even Lee Trevino, where they're striking it in here. I mean, shoulders wide open. Even Dustin Johnson's here these days. Hips are open, shoulders open. You know, as long as you figure out how to make good ball contact, you can be as open as you want. And in my opinion, if you're open, you're not going left. And you're rotating, you're not missing left. So in general, I say no. Theoretically, yeah, it could be too much, could be a problem, but I've just never seen it. I could use some tips on hitting shots out of a fairway bunker and long fairway grass. Okay, two totally different shots. Okay, here's what you need to do for those bunker shots. Depending on how high you got to cover. So fundamentals, get all your fundamentals down, right? Your wider stance, choke up on the club if you need to. Make sure you've got a club that's going to get it over that lip. Okay, so if you're like, yeah, 6-iron could get over there, I got it with a 6, then grab a 7, okay? Like, always go one extra more loft. Go one extra more loft than you think. Like, yeah. So if you're like, okay, a 5 is good, I'm going to hit a 6. That's just a general rule. And another thing, if you can't get to the green, okay, if you can't get there, and most of the time you can't, okay, unless you're really a low handicapper, then what you want to do is put it somewhere where you can hit the shot that you practice the most, which is this little guy here, that little 3/4 punch shot, and say, okay, what clubs do I work on that? What wedge can I do that with? How far can I get it to there? Okay, then go there. But if you're dead set on hitting it, what I do is I open up, I put it a little forward in my stance. Some people say go back, I say go forward. I usually do the opposite of what people say. Okay, I put it forward because I want to hit it a little thin. A little thin is great. That's why I say take a little extra club, because you're going to try to thin it just a little bit. Okay, so let's say I got a 5-iron, get me over the lip. I got a 6. I'm going to take it a groove or two thin. And so I put it forward in my stance, so I'm coming slightly up on the ball. And I practice this at the range, even off the mat, and I'm just trying to hover that club above the ball, and I'm going to try to thin it a little bit. And then just try to remember how high that thing goes, okay? So you can put that in your memory bank when you're on course, but you want to thin it a little bit. Okay, the only time I don't do that is when it's like a wedge. That's different, but let's just say it's a longer shot, fairway bunkers, you're hitting a mid-iron or something. Thin it up there. Okay. What are your chickens' names? My kids name those dang things. They're about to be named dinner. They stopped laying eggs. All of them. I've got like 38 chickens over there. All of them stopped laying eggs. Ridiculous. So, unfortunately, there might be less soon. But my kids name them. They don't name all of them. One of them's like Fatty Pumpkin. One is, I don't know the rest. They call one Fatty Pumpkin, I know. You guys are funny. All right, we're losing connection here. We're struggling a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, here's John's question. What's a good pre-shot warm-up when the course doesn't have a range, and what adjustments do you make when playing? Okay. So if the course doesn't have a range, if they have a short game area and a bunker, I hit some bunker shots, because then you could actually take kind of a full swing out of a bunker. It's with a wedge or whatever, but you're getting that warm up. And then I did a video on this. I tee up my ball in the bunker and just hit drivers like right into the face of the bunker. That way I got some driver swings. But you don't have to. And what I try to do is just, even if I don't have a place to warm up, if I know that going in, I hit in my yard, right? I hit right here in the morning. I'm like, okay, this place doesn't have a range, so I'm just gonna hit here. It's gonna warm up here, and a lot of times I just warm up here anyways because I'm going somewhere close. Just warm up here. And my pre-shot routine, I have a video on it. Search my YouTube channel, you'll see it. But it's all 3/4 swings. Even when I go to a range, like that's my biggest swing. I don't believe, like, look, I just don't want to. If I'm on tour, that's different. I'm playing every day, and I'm in better golf shape. But I'm not playing every day. I'm not. I mean, I do hit every day, but still, like, I don't want to tire myself out. So I just want to get my rhythm. You know, you're going to swing harder and faster once you get to that first tee. So I just want to loosen it up at the range. 3/4 swing, get warm. I'm good. Good to go. Are my hands out of the swing? Yes. Everything's good to go. And then you're good. And that's a rhythm and feel that you're trying to get. Okay. Canoe. All right. In between distances, you recommend choking down or swing. Okay. I was at Precision Golf Centers. Check out my last video on the short game challenge. My last two were from that place. I'm going back this week, okay? So I did, I haven't edited that video together, but I did a little thing of me hitting, I think it was 8 irons, where I would 7 and 8 irons. I was hitting the same distance, and I was like, should I go more club, harder swing, or less club, choke it down, right? And here's, for me, what I discovered was when I swung a hard 8 iron, my distance control was better, okay? How far it went. But my dispersion left to right was greater. When I choked down a 7, my dispersion left to right was narrow, but my distance was there was a greater distance gap. I couldn't control the distance as much. And that makes sense, because when you swing all out, it's just gonna go what it goes. But the control of side to side was a lot. So that, hopefully this can answer your question. I'm assuming that's probably gonna be similar with a lot of people, but it's good to get that figured out for you. So you wanna do some testing on that at the range. Take an iron and say, okay, I'm going to this flag, and just hit 10 shots and just write it down. Or go to a place like Precision Golf Center where you can check these things. It's an indoor facility, they have track monitors, and you can do these different challenges and really know what you're good at. But you can do it on a piece of paper. And I used to do this on paper, and I would hit, okay, hard 6 iron, right? Where'd it go? And I just put a dot where it went, right? Based on how far I was trying to go. And I would do 10 dots. And then I'd switch to a 5 iron and go smooth 5 iron and do the same thing. And just visually, you'll know what it looks like for you. So so for me, if I have to carry some water, and do I want to hit a soft 7 or a hard 8? Well, I'm carrying a distance. I need the distance to be accurate. I'm going to go with the harder swing. Okay, because that's more important than left to right at the moment. But if there's nothing short or nothing long, but the trouble is side to side, and I'm just trying to get it, more accuracy, then I'm going to go smoother swing and try to control it in there. And then, so if the trouble's left to right, I'll take smoother swing. If the trouble's front and back, I'm going harder swing with less club. All right, last question. What do we got? Okay, Chris, yes, I will do some videos on woods and hybrids. Do more of those for sure. What about fairway shot in longer grass? Okay, we'll end here. What about fairway shots in longer grass? When is it okay to use a 5-wood or a hybrid? Okay, so obviously distance, how far do you have, is going to be a huge factor. Usually when I'm in really tall grass, I'm gonna take an iron with a loft that I feel like, with loft where I can get it out of there. That's gonna be key. Okay, and if I have to miss the green, so be it, I have to miss the green. But if I hit it and miss the green, where do I want it? Where's that pin? I'm really looking at around the green, where's the trouble first and foremost, okay? If there's bunkers I don't want to be in, I'm definitely going to come up short of that. If there's too many bunkers short and I don't want to be short of the green because I can't spin it and get it close, then I'm going to probably go for it. But let's say I've got my hybrid, you know, you got to just figure out like how much grass is it, how much is going to grab the club, what's going to happen, and really where's my miss, where's the trouble, and what do I want to avoid here. That's really the number one thing before I jump into some long grass with my hybrid. But it's always okay to use a hybrid, and I've used it many times out of the longer grass. Okay, and again, that's why this 3/4 swing is so important, because so many times I'm just like this. I'll punch that guy. If I need to get this through the grass and go more and go farther, so let's say I can run it up and I've got 170 yards, which I would never hit my hybrid 170 yards, right? I'd hit a 6-iron or 7-iron. But let's say that the grass is just so clumpy and clunky, like I can't get my 7 or 6-iron there. Right, so I'll take my hybrid, and then that's where that 3/4 little punch shot is going to come into play, because now I can run this. I can run this up there if I get it, you know, like that, and then I punch it through there, and it could roll up onto the green. So it's always okay. All right, you just got to practice it a little bit. I think that's our show for the day. Hello, Northern Ireland. Thanks, man. I was trying to get out there this year, but maybe next year. Oh, I'll do one more question. Should I join a club or just try to get deals like twilight hours? So you, do the math on that, okay? Do the math. I did the math a while ago when all 3 of my kids were playing, and it was cheaper to join a club than buy them range balls all the time. So we did for a long time. They don't play as much anymore. You know, they're into other things, which is great. But they have a great foundation that they can build on if they really want to take it up. But, you know, golf's one of those games. So just do the math and see if you can do it. But there's a lot of benefits to joining a club. And one is just really getting to play, getting to know a lot of people and playing with them a lot. So if you're into that kind of thing, I would highly recommend it if it works out financially. Because just going place to place, that's fun too. If you play a lot of different courses, a lot of clubs have affiliate clubs they're part of, that you can be a member of and play all the different courses too if you travel a lot. So there's a lot of benefits. Just check out the math, see if it works for you. And then whatever they tell you the price is, it's negotiable, all right? I'll just let you know that. The membership fee, it's a guideline. You could get it. Let me tell you, golf industry is struggling, so you can make a deal. Trust me on that. Just go in there expecting no initiation fee. Unless you're trying to join Riviera or something, they're not gonna cut you a deal, all right? For your basic club, you can get it for nothing. All right, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. I love you guys. We'll see you next week live. Check out tomorrow's video. It's gonna be hopefully super awesome. See ya.